Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geekenders with Mathas for real.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me on again. It's been great. I feel like, I'm turning into the next Crendor. I'm just here all the time.
Oh my gosh. I was telling Mathas while we were setting up, but like literally every time we've done Geekenders since my colossal flub up, everyone's like, did you tell the guests the right time this time? Are they going to be here on time? I'm like, don't do this. I'm sorry.
Well deserved, but let my appearance today mark the end of that torture. Leave her alone. I'm back. I was telling her earlier, like, if you could only have a camera on me that morning when I woke up and I looked at my phone, I had like 30 messages and I was like, what the There's at lightning speed, half awake.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm sure that was very stressful. But for those of you who don't know Mathas, he's lovely. We met him doing all of the gaming sort of stuff, but he's very well known now.
Yeah,
he's very well known now for having a huge interest in the paranormal, and in fact, a fantastic podcast with Jessup Cox called Chilluminati. So welcome, Mathas.
Hi guys, thank you for having me. Yeah, that's me. It's also kind of poetic. The very first time I was on a podcast with Jesse was co-optional, and I was with RPM. If you want to like get whiplash back into them, making an excellent 60-40 split, and they had whatever it was, like all their guests like couldn't make it, and I got reached out to like emergency. Can you make it tomorrow? Jesse needs like a guest. I'm like, yeah, of course I'll be there, because like TB wasn't there. I don't even think you were there, Dodger, either. It was me, Jesse, and I think I can't remember who the other person was. It was like episode 41 or 42. So yeah,
That's
hey,
hilarious.
yeah, that was it. I remember it was on Skype and everything.
Oh,
I don't know. I can't stress this enough.
Yeah, the Skype rooms we had the old ass Skype room we had was like, dude, that was
yeah.
There was a time, and I know this can seem shocking. There is a time when companies actively rip people off. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Things have changed, thankfully.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true.
I don't. They were like 60-40, and I was like, "That's a majority. Sick.
Good, that's such a good split." I just want to say my favorite memory of Maker Studios was being in a room with people that, admittedly, I thought were friends. They were not.
Yeah,
I was in a room with them, and I was like, "What do you do for your split? Why are you taking so much money?" And they said, and I quote, "You just don't know how business works." And I was like, I'm 10 years older than all of you. I have more experience than, and they were like, you just don't get it. And I was like,
yikes. Talking down to people is never the way.
Oh man, that's so good. That's so fucking good.
Oh,
and then, what a wild time.
Yeah. Then I went to Twitch where they immediately took 50%. So that's hilarious.
Yeah. YouTube takes 40% off the top before anybody sees anything in the first place. So like it's like no.
The craziest thing, because I don't stream enough, I will never hit that like that like 70-30 split they have on Twitch.
Oh yeah, me
because
either.
Some months I'll do great, but then I won't stream the next month, and then it'll be like, sorry, it has to be 3 months in a row, baby. And I'm like, cool. And so that's every conversation I have with them. I'm like, I've been doing this on Twitch for years. And they're like, no, that's not how Amazon works. And I'm like,
Bezos. Yeah.
Thank God Amazon bought Twitch.
So, I'm really thrilled about that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're wondering, Jesse, why don't you invest as much time in Twitch? There's your answer, kids.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost
Times.
like it's a predatory industry.
Oh God,
And it
yeah.
relies on the youthfulness of everyone involved and their inexperience in the business world to get them excited about creating content when really they're just another cog in the money-making machine of a giant corporation. That's so crazy.
It's so weird.
Crazy.
So weird.
Yeah.
There's a time,
Hey, kids, follow your dreams.
Yeah.
During my 60-40 split days, I was putting out like 4 videos a day. This is like main Let's Play days of like everybody. And like
Because
also
in your
doing
mind-
full-time waitering job and making 60-40 split and being like, I'm gonna make it, guys.
But that's the thing is in your mind, you're like, oh my God, this is my chance. I can do what I love. And
Yep.
it's there. And it absolutely is the gateway to making a like hobby into your dream job. And it's awesome. And I will say that, look, I can't go back to the regular world. I'd rather
I'm
walk
fucked.
into the ocean and let the tide take me. I can't do it.
I've said that so many
This is
times.
a
I'm
cushy
like,
job.
bro, I'll go
Anyone out there who's
skydiving
like,
without a
"It's-
parachute.
It's so hard. It's just those people are just burnt out. All right.
Yeah.
They burnt themselves out. It is the cushiest job on planet Earth. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It feels great. It's
Getting
so
here
much
is just a
fun.
gamble.
It is.
But-
It's a very fun job.
Yeah.
It's,
oh, yeah,
it's
I
a
love it.
fluke. If you're successful, you can be the best in the world and still no one will watch you. It's a fluke if you're successful. It's all about who you know. It's about timing and place, and it's insane. And so it's a gamble.
Yeah.
And then in that gamble, there are a million people who are like, I can help you be successful. Give me a large portion of your money. And it's you're always gonna have that. And then there are people who are like,
And they're all very good at
"Coattails, I'm gonna
pretending to be
ride
your
it."
friend.
Yeah. It is absolutely an industry.
Yeah. There's just no way. There's no like, we're in the wild. In a lot of ways, it's still very much the Wild West in how this industry works. Like, I did gaming probably for like close to a decade, barely, paddling water and able to like pay for like how, my life. But there's no way it could have been like, oh, but this podcast about aliens and ghosts is gonna fucking pop off. Like, there's just no fucking way. When I tried to do gaming for a decade, that I thought
Jesse has talked about that before. Like, if you would have asked me if the Goofy Paranormal podcast I was gonna be on was gonna do as well as it's like, yeah,
I was like, this is
and it's
fun.
great.
This is fun. Yeah. Like for the first 2 years, we did 2 episodes a month at best. There was whole months where we didn't do an episode.
Yeah.
This is fucking wild. But yeah, there's no way to track that path and be like, I prepared for all of it.
It's all a
No.
crapshoot. But that, I mean, like, that's I will say, I saw someone in chat say that sometimes streamers are spoiled. That's a big truther. I'm not even gonna deny that. I'm not even gonna deny that.
Yeah, because like, depending on who they are, there's a bunch of influencers and streamers and content creators where this is literally the only job they've ever had.
Right.
And I think that sometimes informs like a really skewed idea of what other jobs are like.
Solid point. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's no way for them to compare it to what they could be doing otherwise. Like having to work in the retail and restaurant industry for 15 years before I could even step away to do the gaming stuff alone was enough for me to be like, don't live beyond my means. That was like the biggest thing I think that's been benefited me being in this for so long is I never, ever go above like my means of living without being able to like take care of myself and shit and not like think I'm so much bigger than I am and living this lavish lifestyle. It's just not. It's
but apparently
tomorrow.
Apparently like YouTuber or streamer is like the number one job that kids want.
Yeah, it makes
now.
sense.
Yeah.
Because actor, musician,
It's
probably
just
was for
like wanting to be an actor. Exactly. When I was a kid, if I was asked what I wanted to be, I would be like, I'm going to be a star. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I have a feeling Jesse said the exact same thing in the exact same way when he was a kid as well.
Let me just tell you, I would put on shows for my family.
Hilarious.
Oh my
Naughty.
gosh.
I would draft my cousins into it and we'd put on little shows.
That's hilarious.
I absolutely was like, I want to be a star, baby.
I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Look,
like
I love that.
8-year-old Jesse
not,
did too. Yeah.
entertainment was
Dinosaurs
not
rule.
remotely on my thing, on my bingo
Mhm.
card. That was like an accident.
But I mean, I think the difference is that like life is a roller coaster, and so
God, yeah.
if you were to ask me what the trajectory was, it literally was I went to school in I got the acting bug as a kid, went to college for theater, realized what the BFA program was, which is Bachelor of the Fine Arts, which was like an insane amount of work. Realized like I don't want to do that. So I just got the Bachelor of the Arts, but because I had so many credits, I also got a theater or a history degree. So I got a double major. And then after school, while I was in college, I worked at a radio station. I thought this is it. This is my career. Went to a party, got super drunk, puked on my boss's car, got fired. That was a thing that happened.
Oh,
so I was
no.
like, well, yeah. I used to do voice act work. This was like the time, like end of college. I was like, this is my life. I'm gonna be like living in New York, going to things, doing voice stuff. Turns out I'm like not really a great voice actor. and I was out of the radio station, so I was like, well, I got to get a job. And my parents were like, you should teach. And because I was like, yeah, I guess money's money, I went and I taught. And I taught history in Ohio, and I did that. And then I lost that job. And it was like, well, I got nothing to do. I guess I'll make videos during the summer. And now here I am. Like that's
literally like
there's no way I could predict anything that happened.
It's the same.
None.
I was doing videos because I was just like I needed an out. Like it was just like during like a rough family time for me where my mom was at one of her sickest, and like I had no out. I was working 12 hours at a restaurant, so I started watching. And it was time when StarCraft 2 started popping off on YouTube, and I was watching like HD StarCraft, Husky StarCraft, freaking Force when he was Force StarCraft, all that shit. And I started like I was watching. I was like, I can do this. This looks fun. I could do like some StarCraft commentary, and that's just like the first step that led to a path that I could not predict. I think it's one of the more freeing lessons as an adult, beyond just like YouTube, is like there's majority things in your life you can't control. You just can't. But what you can control is how you react to the things that happen in your life. Like that's pretty much all you have. A lot of your pathways in life, you're never going to be able to predict. It's how you react to the situations that pop up in your life that might put you down that path that you just got to be ready for. You can't control that shit. You got to like let that shit go. You can't. There's no way I could have controlled being invited on a co-optional. You know, for instance, is just an example.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dodger's path is pretty interesting. Let me see if I can sum it up.
Farm.
So as a child raised by wolves in a forest, and then somehow adopted by a family and put in a wood paneled wall room where after crafting doodads and trinkets for theater department for many years, then graduated from Wolf Girl to Wolf Mom, where you then stylized your hair so you had like little droopies.
Oh God! Holy fuck! That's like 2013.
Yep.
That's
then,
right.
because you got into the internet, you started doing news on the internet, which is a terrible idea. I don't know why anyone would do that.
I know.
Then
Not good for the algorithm. What are you thinking?
I know.
Then-
Terrible for the algorithm.
moved from the woods to the jungle of Los Angeles, where after getting involved in the drug trade, became sort of like a kingpin for and that was pretty crazy. And then
There were so many drugs I don't even remember that part.
Yeah.
So many drugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
What happens
that's why
when
you don't
do that many
remember.
drugs?
Yep. Yeah.
Then you, I think, blackmailed a British man into marriage. I believe is how that went.
You were there,
yeah, that
so
makes sense.
you know that's what happened. Yeah.
Right. I was about to say, like, are you trying to deny that? I mean, like, we blackmailed the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, you were involved. I don't want you to make it sound like I was the only one doing this. Yeah.
No. Please, I would never put the blame on you entirely. We worked as a team to blackmail him.
I don't know
Exactly.
what you're talking about. Sam is very happy, and he would never say otherwise, ever.
Right. No, he's not allowed to legally. So, and then you fled the country after you got caught up in that drug sting. And now you're
welcome
that's great.
to England.
And we're certainly again not in the same room. We are
not in the same room.
If the FBI
So
is listening,
true.
we are not in the same room. This is just coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Dodger mirrored her camera, she could technically be on the other side of that black curtain. We might not know.
Yeah, who's over there? You'll never know who's over there.
You'll never
It looks
know.
well
You'll never
Yeah.
know.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I brought
know where
a
we're
fourth
going with
guest
that, so-
actually.
Oh, okay.
I brought a fourth guest that I would love to introduce you guys to. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm nervous, actually.
So this is Toby.
Ooh.
This is Toby.
I
Um,
don't know how to
Is this?
respond.
I'm
to be
sorry. Is
honest
this
with you.
like a? Okay, please. I'm sorry. I don't want to
Is
interrupt.
Toby
It
okay?
looks-
there's nothing else to say. It's Toby, and he's here to
Good for
stay.
Toby. Okay, then I'm going to introduce you to Lola.
Okay. I love her. Jesse,
There you go.
who would you like to introduce us to?
I would like to introduce you to Quest Sprout. He's a little Quest Sprout, and he goes on quests.
He's cute.
And he just wants to go on a quest with you. Yeah, that's who I have.
There's something off about him, though, right? There's something weird about
No.
him, I think.
No, he's a little
Quest
cutie
Sprout?
pie.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. Like ours had like sort of a childlike jovial quality to them, you know? And I just
Mine
feel
was
like
definitely adolescent.
Oh, cute, and he just wants to go on a quest.
oh,
Where's he going?
sorry.
What quest?
On any quest, he just wants to go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Over
He's
quest.
very cute.
He just wants to go on a quest. He's not a. I assume tramp. Is that what we call that man? He's not a tramp. He's not a.
Bro,
he's not an
come on.
alien.
You're my
Sexy,
age.
sexy
And
alien.
tramp wasn't even used when we were kids, all right?
That's what I'm saying. But that guy, look, I'm going based off the time period that thing was clearly crafted in. He's a tramp.
He's a tramp, a wallop.
Dodger, where did you get that? Did you get it at
So-
like a
Yeah, where did
weird
that come
specialty
from?
store?
So
Did he show
no.
up in the front door asking for like a sacrifice?
I want you guys to Google Toby jugs. TOBY jugs.
Oh,
These are an English staple. Fucking
Yeah.
weird jugs with old men's
So-
faces on them.
my mom has a couple Toby jugs. I know that term.
When I said
I
that
don't-
I had never heard of these
horrible.
before, people were like, go ask Sam. Sam will definitely know what these are. They're an English staple. So
They're
I
an
went to
English
Sam and
staple.
I was like, how do you feel about Toby jugs? And he was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
English
And
staple.
then someone lovingly got so fed up with me not having Toby jugs in my life that I was sent a Toby mug, which is similar.
I love that.
Got you.
So this is Toby, and he lives in my house now, and he's not haunted.
No,
Can I just
Mhm.
say
that's
Yes.
usually how it works.
there is a poem about
God.
Toby jugs.
Of course there is.
It's where I believe it comes from.
Okay,
Laud us.
Francis Fox wrote this.
okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Dear Tom, this brown jug that now foams with mild ale, in which I will drink to sweet Nan of the Vale, was once Toby Philpot, a thirsty old soul. As e'er drink a bottle or fathomed a bowl, in boozing about, 'twas his praise to excel, and among jolly toppers he bore off the bell. It chanced, as in dog days he sat at his ease, in his flower-woven arbor, as gay as you please, with a friend and a pipe, puffing sorrows away, and with honest old Stingo was soaking his clay.
What does stingo mean?
I don't
You know
know
what?
what
You
most
don't
of
wanna
this
answer any
means.
of this.
I don't want to know. I don't think. Yeah.
His breath doors of life on a sudden were shut, as he died full as big as a Dorchester's butt. When was this written?
Nice.
In the
Stingo
1800s. Dude,
is
the
slang for
1800s are
beer
great.
or booze. There you go.
His body, when long in the ground had lain, and time into clay had resolved it again, a potter found out in his covert so snug, and with part of fat Toby he formed his brown jug, now sacred to friendship, to mirth and mild ale. So here's to my lovely sweet Nan of the Vale. So wait, this man
Oh, that's
drank so much
long
and died,
poem.
and they took his body and made things out of it to
I
drink
I
out
guess
of?
so.
I guess
That
so.
sounds like an episode of Illuminati right there.
It does. You guys should do a Toby Jug episode.
Toby Jug episode.
Yeah.
Surprise, that's what you're going to be doing soon.
Imagine getting made into a jug. That
No,
man
I'd
became
rather-
a jug.
I'd rather not. I prefer being a
Stop.
human being.
Is that like a lamp? Are you doing like camp
that's
outs with
cute.
Doogs?
Have I not talked to you about this before?
No, never. You don't talk to me. You only invite me on this show to yell at me and tell me I'm not good enough.
Never.
That's fair enough, honestly.
This lamp is a candle warmer. So if for whatever reason you either are uncomfy about it or you have animals or whatever, if you don't want to light candles with fire, you can get cute little lamps like this that are heat lamps, and they can be really hot or not as hot. And there's like a little wooden base here with a slot for the candle to go in, and it heats it up, and the candle lasts a lot longer, and there's no actual fire. And it's very pretty.
That's really cute.
So
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
And I imagine this is like supreme mom skills.
okay.
Do you sit in that corner with Clarky and read books?
No.
That's a very book reading corner.
It's a
good
perfect
corner, though.
book reading corner.
If it's
I
not a
know.
book reading corner, it's a perfect YouTube set corner for a news show.
Well,
Ooh,
oh
ASMR,
God. You know
read
what?
books.
Maybe
I know.
I need to
Weird.
just go full
Weird.
circle at this point.
Yeah, right? Just return home.
Guys, I'm doing news again. No, I had thought about bringing this into like the actual living area of our house though, because it's so comf and I don't use it to sit. Like it's too comf to just be a set piece, you know? I don't actually sit on it I've fallen asleep on it a couple of times by accidente, but it should be somewhere where people can squish in consistently, you know?
I like it. I think it's like a solid look. However,
Yeah.
if you could move your camera like what is next to the grass on the wall? What is that?
Oh,
The like white
what is that? What is that thing right?
Oh.
What is that?
The Dodger.
Does it say
something.
Dodger?
it
Yeah.
does.
This girl,
Dodger's
instead of getting up,
beverages?
scooted
Yeah.
over.
Ready?
God, I wish I could sit like that with my bones creaking and snapping.
Okay, so
Dodger beverages taste
Cute.
good.
Is that a
Cute,
real
right?
sign?
yeah,
Is
it's
that like a-
there's an old drink called Dodger beverage.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I love
So
it.
I have
All
the
right,
sign.
I saw it and like in the corner was like, what is that? At first I thought it was wallpaper. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm very surprised.
No.
I'm actually excited about
Wallpaper. God.
that. Yeah. I thought it was
No
like a
thank
strip, like a line that goes across the like middle of the wall as like a
Sure.
demarcation line or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey,
Sure.
video
Yeah,
games.
why not?
Boy, those are fun. Let's move on
Video
quickly from
games.
that.
Wait, can I
Is that
hold
something
on,
you're talking
hold on, before we scooch. Mathas, did you say wallpaper? Like no one uses wallpaper anymore?
I haven't seen wallpaper since I lived in my house as a kid, where they had
my
wallpaper.
gosh. I
Yeah.
am drowning in wallpaper. I can't get away from it.
You just like come home and it's just there.
This house that we moved into, every single room coated in wallpaper.
Fuck, that's rough.
So I've been ripping a lot of wallpaper off of the walls, but I was like, it must be so
man.
nice to live in a world without wallpaper. I like
remember.
wallpaper a lot if it's like, you know, an accent wall, but when it's every single wall,
Every room.
it's so much.
Oh, it was in my childhood home. Every single room had wallpaper. Every room over horsehair plaster.
I just wish they had, you know, shown a little restraint. That's all.
No. Go in or go all in or go home.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
They were like, we're old. We can get away with having tons
They'll
of
be dead before-
wallpaper.
He'll be dead before it inconveniences them.
It's going to be
fine.
amazing.
So yeah, you guys talk about video games on the
Anyways,
podcast?
yeah. Sometimes we
Not
do.
really.
Whoa,
Not really.
harkening back.
I know.
Yeah.
Occasionally we talk about video games.
Whoa, relax.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or we could just spend the entire time talking about the truly awful Zack Snyder duology film that's on Netflix. Netflix?
Why would
I
I
think it's
waste
what
my
it is.
time?
What is
One
it?
of the worst things.
Wait,
I'd rather
what's it
watch the
called?
worst things
hold
I've
on,
ever
hold on.
seen.
Hold on. the new movies by by Zack Snyder or Neil Breen?
Dude, at least I know going in Neil Breen will be shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Zack Snyder movies, I always have a little hope that Zack Snyder might create something good, but then I remember if he's writing it, the man can't write for shit. I can't.
He should not be allowed anywhere near anything that resembles script shape.
Rebel Moon is
Rebel. Thank you. I was about to be like,
yes,
what's
that's what it was.
the name
Rebel
of
Moon.
what you're
Rebel
talking
Moon.
about?
Rebel Moon is supposed to be what I think was going to be Zack Snyder's Star Wars films.
Okay.
Except they like aren't so. This is like, well, it's not my Star Wars, but it's like kind of Star Wars. Yo, it is. I've never seen it. So I watched the first one, and I fell asleep halfway through it. Woke up at the end, and I was so confused because I was like, "What is happening?" That I rewound, watched the movie over, and realized I wasn't confused. It was just
you
bad.
Actually didn't miss anything.
There's no actual character development at all in that first movie.
No.
Oh no.
And it is truly awful. So I was like, well, I got to see how bad the second movie is.
I don't know how anybody
it's
trusted
worse.
that man after giving him control of the DCEU. Like,
I just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. Why do they let him write? Like,
I feel like Zach hasn't, he comes up, he has like a vision of a amazing scene in his head. And he has no idea what the movie around it is. And he doesn't want to write it. He just wants to film that scene. So he just fucking rushes it and makes a movie about nonsense so he can make his unnecessary. Doesn't he do like 30 minutes of slow-mo wheat cutting?
That's what it is. It's like if you want to watch any of his movies, especially this one, imagine a fight scene, but it's like explosions in the background. But you're just like, just have them fight. Like every scene doesn't need to be a dramatic, like,
yeah.
Like, you don't need to do that all the time. The special effects are cool looking. The characters are fine. They have no backstory or any motivation at all. Like, it's a nonsense thing. And I'm like, why do they keep giving him money? Why does this keep happening? What does he have on people? How does this happen?
He got 166 million to make both of them.
How does that happen?
I watched a video that was a comparison of Saltburn and The Talented Mr. Ripley. And at one point in the video, they're basically the same movie. At one point in the video, she was like, I feel like we really need to start specifying the difference between a good movie and a good looking movie because they're not the same. And I was like, damn, because really there are so many movies that are coming out where it's like they don't have the same amount of like care and attention and thought put into them. And instead, what should be filling up that space is like special effects or like beautiful cinematography. And it's like, yeah, this is beautiful to look at, but it was the substance. Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where like, he had a bunch of successes and I think, and our industry is ripe with this shit too, of people who have a few successes who now think they can do all of it. And then they can go just write, direct, and do all of it instead of just being the thing they're good at. And not going to write scripts.
I don't think it's like that. I think it's more complicated because it isn't just like Zack Snyder thinks he can do good, so he does more. I think it's because he had successes, which again, were adaptations. All of his successes are things that he did not write the script for, right? So like, but he had successes, and producers and executives, that's all they see. They don't care about like what you're going to create. They're like, what's the last few things he did? How much did they make for like, that's the thing.
Yeah. Like
how much hype was around it. How much. And so they just let that happen. And hopefully we will get away from that, but it won't.
No.
It won't.
I would get away for anything. I'm already seeing repeated cycles and I've only been doing this for a decade. Come on now.
Yeah.
The entertainment industry moves really quick in very small circles.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same reason why.
What?
Sorry?
Oh, I just said that was a really good way to put it. It's true. Yeah,
it's the same reason why if you hear a voice actor get really popular, suddenly they're in everything for a while. It's because a lot of the people at the top are not creative at all.
No.
And rather than risk they would rather go with something familiar because they know it will deliver
All the
rather
ROI
than
on them.
yeah, rather than try to like, oh, I like this voice, but that's a nobody, so we can't cast them. That happens so frequently.
Safety is such a killer of creativity. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but safety equals money to people. And when your business is run by money counters, like dudes who's like, all I care about is that the stock is good.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Its stock go up. Okay, good.
Another place where I keep seeing this happen, I started following a bunch of people who design book covers. And they'll make these videos where they're like, this was the prompt. Here were all of the covers that I made. And here's what they wound up going with. And it is so rare for it to not be disappointing. Like, there's all these creative options, like really eye-catching, cool ideas for book covers. And then in the end, it's like, woman in dress looking away from the camera, text in slight cursive, you know?
You can even take that and put it to YouTube. Thumbnails are the same way.
Yes.
You find that the formula that works, like commentary videos, usually the dude or woman in the center, person thing they're talking about, blue, red colors, like, you know, it's the same exact shit over and over.
Right. But the reaction from like the everyman is usually the same, which is I can't tell the difference between this one and all of the other ones that are exactly the same as it, right? Like if I saw this book out at the store, I would glaze over it because I've seen a million books that look like that. And it's the same with thumbnails. I like, sure, that thumbnail has a lot of bright colors and shit, but it looks exactly like the next 4 thumbnails that I'm seeing on the main page, you know?
And what sucks is it isn't just this is what everyone thinks is good. It's reinforced by the algorithms that say this is good. So if I make a video where it's like if it's you know, a video about this slime, and I'm like, I love slimes, and the video is like the picture of the slime, that's not going to do as good as a video where it's I'm like, like that's literally just the way, and it's because the algorithm's like, I recognize a face, and faces are important. Yeah, and it's just literally the algorithm will push that more, and it's like it doesn't make it better. It's just somewhere someone chose that to be the way to go. And if you want to compete, you have to do it. And suddenly every video looks the same. And it's like, well, that's not cool. So I want to change up or do. And every single time that I've changed something or messed around or tried to do, it always fails. And the reason why isn't because it wasn't good. It's because the algorithm is like, I don't recognize this, so I'm not going to send it to people. And it sucks to watch happen. And so you're just like, cool, guess I'm part of this. So,
yeah, it's so much fun. I did the same thing when I was so fucking done with survival games and I tried to do something else. My entire channel tanked. Whole thing. People don't realize the algorithm does scan the thumbnail. Like it's part of the algorithm is that looking at the thumbnail for guns or whatever it is looking for in there to, you know, it's part of the algorithm. It's ridiculous.
I'm not look.
Anyway,
it's the algorithm. The algorithms are also, if you ever wonder, this is absolutely true. If you ever wonder, like, why that show I love on my streaming service that I use get canceled after 2 seasons, an algorithm told them it wouldn't be profitable to make a 3rd season. Yeah, I'm letting you know right now that's what it was. And if you're like, what? It doesn't make sense. They'd cancel. Why would they do that? Because a machine was like, I count to the numbers, and my robot brain tells me it's not entertaining enough for the dollar amount you're spending. So.
That's why I like podcasting so much because it's a non-centralized medium right now. There's so many different podcasting services, but even that is starting to wane away. Like I work very closely with Spotify. I have like a person that I talk to from Spotify often, and Spotify is essentially, and this is what I told them, they're trying to become the YouTube of audio. Right. They have an algorithm now. They have comments for episodes now. They have polls that you can put up on episodes now, and all of that feeds into all of that feeds into the algorithm on Spotify as to whether it'll push it or not. And it's just like, okay, all right, we're playing, but at least I know that the game is being played when it started. I'm not jumping in halfway through the game trying to figure out how it goes. Like, at least I'm in from the ground level, but it's like, okay, we got to do it here too. And that means if they're doing it, we'll do it at some point and it'll just proliferate. I love creating though. Anyway, yeah.
No,
I do love the job. That's the thing, though. Is like the job is the best job in the fucking world. And I wouldn't trade this for anything. It's just no job is. Everything is going to come with its handcuffs and its necessaries, and you got to play by the rules in some ways. You know, it's never totally free.
Are you making that face because of handcuffs?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Are we still talking about it? Like,
all fun things have handcuffs.
Everything comes with handcuffs and its whips. And it's chains, and sometimes you're just held down by it. You're just held down, and then you pulls your hair a little, and it's just great. And I don't like
Toby.
Don't tell me that YouTube ain't the top.
It like spanks your butt a little and calls you names, but like you're kind of into it. But like and that's why you stick around. But like also, it's
and then when you're done, it hands you a check and says thank you so much. You're like, you know what? I guess I'll be back.
It like hurts a little, but like also you think they love you, so it's like fine.
That's just LA. I think they love me.
Oh my god!
How come every time we have to use the handcuffs? Why can't we just hold hands? It like doesn't make any sense. Like I feel like I'm just being used.
Entertainment, baby. No, I love the job though. I really do. I would never fucking give this job up. Like I don't want this talk. Inside baseball is fun talk for me. I really enjoy it. You don't get to talk about it all that much anyway. So, you know, it is the world we live in. I'm fine being where I'm at.
Not me. I want to be in video game land. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Let's talk. What have you been playing lately, Mathas? What's going on with you? Or you know what? I'm gonna give you another chance.
Sure.
What have you been reading? I'll take a reading too.
Right now, in terms of playing, I'm a Dwarf Fortress boy, so I love me my Dwarf Fortress. They just released Adventure Mode, so basically it's just the roguelike mode where you can create a character and then wander the world that you create. I don't know if any of you have ever like been interested in Dwarf Fortress. I'm sure you've heard of it, but that game is levels of simulation that are unnecessary. Like it simulates every creature's bones, nervous system, blood vessels. It breathes, it drinks, which is like hilarious bugs of like cats dying and they couldn't figure out why. And it was because the cats were walking in alcohol and then they were cleaning the alcohol off themselves, giving them some alcohol poisoning. And then walking through more alcohol until they would kill themselves from alcohol.
Dude. I can't. It's too
crazy.
much.
But before that, like on my kind of just like on a console level, I was playing Rebirth, and I just had to put it down.
You haven't finished it?
Because I'm so fucking burnt out. The open world shit makes me want to die. I'm done. I can't do it. I'm so sick of hearing Chadley's fucking voice coming over my goddamn.
Our boy Chadley,
whatever his name is,
sweet robot, annoying Chadley.
Goddamn fucking controller, Cloud.
You want to know how to get someone PTSD? Just go, Cloud.
God.
And everyone will be like, no.
It's because you can do it so well too, dude. It like hits me every time. Like, like I was reading when this game was coming out, the reviews were like side quests at the level of The Witcher. I'm like, whoa, cool. What the fuck are you talking about? This shit is MMO open world nonsense, the game, except for plot. When the plot happens, and then they'll do like a 10-minute cutscene and then slam the brakes, throw it into park, and say, we're going to sit here for 20 hours. Just hold your horses.
I absolutely feel like there needs to be something on video game review websites that says in the review, like it should be a rule. You must say whether you did all the side quests or not. You must say it up front because the amount of
side quests.
Yeah, the amount of 10 out of 10 reviews I saw, I'm like, the pacing in this game is all. I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a great game, but like to say it's perfect when you go from like a dramatic, amazing moment to like Chadley needs you to go get a bunch of towers, dude. Like that's not fun. That's not cool.
I'm running around looking for this dude who has like ninja clones of himself accidentally now for his stupid little shit. That's just like
you do not talk about Johnny that way. No, this is too far. This is too far. You don't talk about my boy Johnny like that.
I'm
Johnny's
literally
a bro,
doing
dude.
a collect
Johnny's
10 bare-ass side quest for Johnny.
No, listen, you've gone too far. You've gone too. Johnny's a bro.
Fuck
Johnny's a bro. No.
Can I also just fucking say...
You're done. We're cutting you off. When you make fun of Johnny, you make fun of everyone.
Listen, the character of Johnny is fine. The side quest where I have to go around the world and pick up his, like,
because you can make clones of him because he's a goofball? Amazing. You're...
That has nothing to do with the quest that I have to do
I was on Team Mathas, and now I'm not. Now I'm not.
It's fine. Be against me.
This episode won't even go live.
I'm going to give the game an 8 out of 10. Fuck
We're done.
Fuck
Cut
you.
the stream. It's
No,
over.
cut you. I'm cutting you. You can't come on Chilluminati anymore.
Cut me.
You're out. You're fired. This game is like an 8. I'm just so sick of the side
You know
quests.
what's, I just want to say for the record, what's hilarious about this is we're like, this game's a 9. You're like, this game's an 8, and that's still amazing.
It needs to be
what a
like,
terrible game. It's an 8.
there needs to be so much less open world shit. I'm just like so sick of just doing the same shit over and over. The towers, the fighting, the fountains, the summons, the towers, the fighting, the fountains. It's the same over and over and over and over and over and over. And then you finally get to a story part, and they're like, it's a 5-minute boss battle. Okay, back to the open world. Have fun. And just, I don't want to. Put it down.
I almost never play open world stuff, so I feel like I wouldn't be as exhausted by it. You know, I haven't touched Rebirth yet. I haven't watched anyone play it. I've still somehow managed to like not know anything about it.
Have you? So yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful looking game. It's cool as fuck to wander around this world that I could only imagine when I was like 13 years old. But it's because I've played a million open world games that this game does. It's like Ubisoft. It's like an Ubisoft open world game. That's really what it is. And I'm very baffled by a lot of people's like praise of its open world design. But I'm just like, it's the worst part about it for me. It's like the most boring part.
Right.
In the game, have you played Kingdom Hearts, Dodger?
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay. Don't go oof, because tell me I'm wrong. The Final Fantasy Rebirth combat is just Kingdom Hearts combat. It's the same exact thing.
All right. I was about to say, I thought you were going to praise
around
Kingdom
the same.
Hearts, and I was like, I will say,
no, it's just Kingdom Hearts combat.
It does.
It's literally, right. I would say it's the exact same combat as Kingdom Hearts. It's very similar.
Yeah.
And that's because the Kingdom Hearts guy's in charge of it. But
it's not. But the thing is like Kingdom Hearts combat might be the best part of Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. Oh, I agree with you. I think.
I was going to say, if I was going to make a list of things about Kingdom Hearts that drove me crazy, combat wouldn't be on there.
Is story your number one? If story is your number one, don't play Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth, because all the nonsense of Final Fantasy, of Kingdom Hearts has made its way into the Final Fantasy VII story, which is already nonsense to begin with.
I will say that story-wise, I like Remake better than Rebirth.
Yeah.
But Rebirth has the exact, like, honest to God, I made a video about this, and I still firmly believe this.
The Moogles are horror creatures.
I hate the Moogles.
They're
suck.
Horrifying in 7.
The thing that I think is important about Final Fantasy VII, this new version, is it literally is the Matrix. In the first game in Remake, they set up this crazy story where it's like, yo, we're introducing some weird concepts. It's going to get wild. You thought you knew Final Fantasy VII. Now we're going to get nuts. Right. And it's like awesome. And I was super in, right? Just like Matrix 1, I was like, yes, this is crazy. Rebirth is just like Matrix Reloaded, or whatever the hell that one was, the second movie, where it's literally just like, all right, we're going to get wild, like full wild. We're going to get super crazy. We're going to have borderline like vis-a-vis indubitably happening.
Yeah.
And it's going to get crazy. And the thing about this is, while I didn't like the second movie as much as the first movie, just like how I don't like Rebirth as much as Remake, the potential into the third game is huge. And much like when the second Matrix movie ended, where I was like talking with my friends at the time, like, you have no idea the amount of conversations we were having. We're like, how is it possible that Neo's in the real world using his powers? Like, how is that possible? Unless it's a Matrix within a Matrix.
I'm having those conversations.
And we were like,
yo,
what if it all was a lie? What if he like gets out and he sees that like the real world, we were like, what if the real world is normal the entire time?
When did the Matrix movies come out?
Early it was the first rated R movies I was allowed to see. So 1999 is the first one.
I think.
God.
So it was like early 2000s. By 2005 they were done, I think. But I was
correct. Like, that's a great way to describe it, because that's how I feel with the random theories we've thrown back in our text chat of just like, that's where we are right now. That's the best part of the remakes, is the theorizing where this can go. But I don't have any faith that they can capitalize on it, because they never did in Kingdom Hearts.
That's the thing is much like the Matrix movies, either this is going to be the dream version of the third film we all wanted, or it's going to end up being like, yeah, Neo was Jesus, dude. Then you're going to be like, wait, what the shit?
No.
Like, yeah.
So it's wild. So I put that down. I I couldn't right now. I'm just done. But I was in a JRPG mood. I've been getting back into the JRPG world. And so after that, I jumped into Persona 5 Royal, and I do not regret it for a moment. That game is fucking
Persona games are great.
Insanely
Persona's
good.
great.
Holy fuck. I'm like 40 hours in, and I'm just like, God damn.
If we're gonna hyper critique Final Fantasy VII, I will hyper critique Persona.
Sure.
I gotta do this.
Sure.
Which one, the Royal or?
Sometimes, just in general, sometimes shit doesn't happen in that game. Sometimes because
yeah.
like the start of every Persona game is the most boring part. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh my God. If you were about to be like, the start is always the best, I was gonna be like, sit down.
No,
incorrect.
yeah.
No,
Wrong.
it's always the most boring part.
I will give Royal or opened up with a hell of a cool scene. It was like mid, and the way they structure the story is a flashback. But then the next 30 hours are
it's slow as
meeting
hell.
people, and then once you kind of have your 4 or 5 people, like honestly, I'm 41 hours in, and it kind of just starting to kick off in terms of like major plot after the first semester ended, basically.
I will stress again. I love Final Fantasy VII, both remake and rebirth. I love Persona. I think they're great games. If we're gonna get hypercritical, the beginning of Persona games are slow as hell. They're so slow.
It's true.
And I can't tell you the amount of times I've restarted Persona games because I played it for like 4 or 5 hours and was like, yeah. And then like 6 months later, we'll come back to it. Like, I'll try it again. You just have to be in the right headspace for it. It's an RPG problem, unfortunately.
Yes.
Is you have to do a lot of building, and not a lot of games are going to drop you into a world like Witcher 3 and be like, have fun. And then you spend 30 hours in the starting area because you enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Like that, it's rare. So
honestly, what kept me around was just the style. Like for the first bit, like the characters were really charming. They were very cheesy in their anime way, which I enjoyed. But the game's stylish as hell, and just like it was just like fun to look at, and the music's great. The acid jazz or whatever it is just like sick. I definitely think I'll jump into the remake of 3 that came out after I'm done with 5.
That's actually
3
great.
remake is great.
It's actually really good.
I've heard it's amazing.
That was my
just
first Persona game, and it was awesome. Yeah.
The remake was, or the original
solid.
was? Dodger, so the remake was your first, or the original Persona?
Persona 3 remake was my first.
Okay,
Persona
all right, cool. Did you play 5?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm excited to play 3.
Yeah. I don't think. I think most people who play Persona games will admit like a couple of the highlights are the OST and the aesthetics, the style of it. You know, all of them are super stylish. There's something about the way that they're put together that makes you go, yeah. You know?
And like the combat is like really quick and impactful, and like it's all kind of puzzle like, having to find the weaknesses. And as you go into Persona 5, like the combat just gets deeper and deeper, and I didn't expect that. Like only now am I starting to get like ultimates and find like, you know, these special cutscenes, and they just keep introducing new layers into the combat. That's just been great. I mean, I've been fucking loving it. I'm excited to jump into P3 after this for sure, but for now I've got like another 100 hours of P5.
Speaking of like truly terrible starts, I've been working the last couple days, this entire week, on a Final Fantasy 14 Rebirth.
Oh God!
Yeah, I'm a mess. It is 8:59. Give me a minute to work this up. Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn. I've been doing a video where I'm trying to be like, hey, I'm trying to get this done before the launch of the new expansion, do this whole thing.
When does the expansion launch, out of curiosity?
June 28th.
Oh,
June
fuck, it's close.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
If you pre-order, yeah. So anyway, I've been going back through on stream with chat clips because I made a character that looks like, you know, the trailer guy, right?
Okay.
And so I'm using him for footage, doing all this stuff. And we're going back through Realm Reborn, getting footage. And I cannot stress this to you enough. I will always say A Realm Reborn is like a really hard intro for people. Going back through it, I'm like,
yes.
Oh my God, this is so much more insane than I remember. Like,
they even cut it down, dude. It used to be worse.
Yeah, I remember getting through it was the worst.
If you watch the cutscenes so I have to remove the dialogue boxes so I can just get the footage of the cutscenes, right?
Right.
And 90% of the cutscenes are like, we should go on an adventure together. And the other character goes,
yeah.
And then it lasts so long, and you're just like,
yeah.
If anything, it makes me appreciate. it makes me appreciate where the game has come now and how like so much better it is. But like when you watch that beginning, you're just like, this is the one thing keeping people from playing right now.
Yep. No, that
Like,
was the worst
it
part of me
is
getting
so
into
painful.
it. I was grateful to have you eager to play alongside me when I was playing, because just fuck, ARR was just a slog.
It's tough.
Heavensward got immediately better. I loved Heavensward all the way through. And then I got to the next expansion. I was like, I'm burnt out. I was like,
and that's a big problem because it's so long. Look, I will always give WoW the worst time because I'm hypercritical of it. But
well, it deserves it. It also
their
ate my life.
genius is that considering they don't care about story, they give people plenty of ways to jump in.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways you can skip because the story is unimportant. You can skip a lot of stuff and just go to a tutorial world that teaches you how to play, and then it throws you into the latter part of the game. And they gotta do something like that for 14. They have to, because oh my God, there's so much going on. I was like, so you're telling me you have to go through like 40 hours of A Realm Reborn where it's kind of like, it's all right. And then you hit Heavensward, which is great. But then you've done another 40 hours of Heavensward. So now you're like 100 some hours into this game with all the extra stuff going on. And they're like, you got 3 more expansions to go, bro, before you catch up. That's a sure burnout. Like, I don't know how every time. Like,
I got to the end of Heavensward and I was like, I'm so done right now.
Bronze is playing right now, and I went to Bronze's stream, and she was in A Realm Reborn, like level 20 or something. And I was like, just watching her play, I was like, she's gonna quit. Like, just seeing how she's playing, I was like, she's not gonna make it even to the end of. She's not gonna even hit 50. And it sucks because it's like, I want to play with these people. Like, I think it'd be cool to play with friends, but it's like,
it's hard.
They're not gonna play.
And it's hard to get through.
It is hard,
but it's the same. It's the same RPG problem with everything we've been talking about, where it's just like getting through the beginning. And it's you know what? It's an anime problem. It's a TV show. It's an everything problem where it's like, if you just put in 40 hours, dude, by the time it's so good. And it's one of those things where unless you were there at the start, oh my God, it's like a Critical Role problem. Anytime anyone's like, dude, you got to watch Critical Role, I'm like, dude, I don't have the patience to sit through that many episodes.
I love so many of those people with my whole ass, and I will never watch Critical Role. I can't do it, dude.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I run a TTRPG show, and I will never ask anybody to go watch my 4-hour episodes. No, thank you. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it sucks because it's one of those things where it truly is the problem with so much content out there. And content is a weird thing because it's just media in general that I'm talking about. But content, I guess, covers everything. But the idea there's so much that keeping up is impossible. It just really is. And so it's like, how would you craft ways for people to get caught up? So hopefully that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make my video so it's like, hey, watch this video, skip A Realm Reborn. That's my vibe. Yes. That's what I'm trying to do.
I mean,
honest to God.
Like, you know, at a certain point, you have to realize that you are catering to and creating content for the people who are already there, right? Like, like so many people watch Critical Role and are super into it. But a lot of people feel the same way that we do, where it's like, it feels inaccessible now, right? Or like to get into it just feels like it would take too long, right? And honestly, I think that's why, like with 14, why they do this really long free trial, why they've got all of these things, because they're like, the people who are already here are super hyped about the next expansion, right? But like getting people into the game is hard. Honestly, I think I've said this before. If you haven't watched the No Clip documentary about Final Fantasy 14, you should.
That is real good.
It's fantastic. And I do think even if you still have a hard time appreciating Realm Reborn, if you're determined to do it, it will give you a bit more of an understanding of where they were coming from, trying to like get this thing back alive, like to resuscitate a game, you know?
Oh, I mean, I worked at Target when that came out, and I remember that coming out, and there's so many cool ideas with Final Fantasy 14, the original, that they just kind of brought over from 11. But the whole game was just so fucking unbalanced.
Like the first, if you want to know how truly insane the first game was, I believe you can find it online, but people are doing comparison photos of the new Dawn Trail graphic system with the current graphic system and then the 1.0 graphic system. And the character visuals in 1.0 versus current versus the new one are better looking than the current and the new graphics. I don't know why, but they put so much time and money into making characters look good. But the first game is insane. Like, it's one of the most insane MMOs I've ever seen in my life. Terrible ideas across the board, but graphically, the characters look gorgeous. And I'm like, why did they put so much time into that? It's very bizarre.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Oh.
On the topic of like games that I have played like a lot of genre wise, but I'm really enjoying one that I've started. I started playing Another Crab's Treasure.
I've heard it's good.
That is such a good game. I am so proud of that dev team. I love them.
It's fantastic.
Awesome.
So when I first saw it, I sort of glossed over it because, to be honest, style-wise, it looks like it's a platformer. It looks like a Banjo-Kazooie sort of, like goofy game. It's actually a Souls-like.
Yeah,
and,
it's a Souls-like.
Is extremely fun to play. The concept is literally you're a little crab and your shell gets taken away from you because taxes. And you're like, give me my shell back, dude. And you go on a quest to get your shell back. And they're so clever with, if you played It Takes Two and you really liked the clever use of like, just like items in the world being used as other things, you will adore the creativity in this game. But if you like Souls-like games, your first thought is probably going to be, what does it feel like to play it? It feels really good to play it. It has all of the things that I think you might be looking for, which is fun boss fights. Are they as like intensive and exciting as, ones in Elden Ring or even in Lies of P? Not really, but they're still really fun. And there's lots of optional areas, lots of optional bosses. This creative like swapping shells system, and the shells all give you like shells. I'm going to put in quotation marks. I'll give you like totally different abilities and things. I've had a blast with it. I think I'm almost done with it. But it's really good. Really, really fun game.
I like the part you don't drop your souls, you drop microplastics when you die.
Yes.
This is
because there's a big like ecology theme to the game. Basically like so much trash has wound up in the ocean that sea life have created a society that totally revolves around trash. They use trash for everything. And so, I think some people were watching me play it and they were like, some of what they're saying is a little on the nose, but like, it's still like very creative the way that they utilize that concept. And the direction that the game goes in, has very like, class struggle themes and all sorts of stuff. So it definitely, from where it started, where I was just a little crab on the sands trying to like have a nap, it has gone in very different directions than I expected. But I've really enjoyed it. I've liked it a lot.
I'm so pleased it's doing well. That dev team is great. I've been following them for a while. So like to see it like blow up, awesome. It is a great game. It's actually a ton of fun.
Yes.
And again, indie devs, man, proudly support them.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And if you like the idea of playing a Dark Souls adjacent game, but you find that the assist options typically suck in those games, this one has lots of assist options, including just giving the main character a gun. Which is great.
I mean, that'll do it. That'll really pretty much win everything.
It's fantastic.
That's great. I love it.
I almost wish that was an option in actual Dark Souls.
Just gun.
Or like in Elden Ring, it's like, just pull out the gun. Like, I'm sorry, what was that millennium?
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Up.
30 deaths to the boss later. Yeah, first try. I did it.
Man, that'd be great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It's a great game.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
It's another week. That means more Helldivers drama.
Ooh.
Hope you're all.
Yes.
There's Helldivers drama?
Dude, there's never not Helldivers. The last couple of weeks, every week there's been new drama.
I'm ready.
Last week it was they nerfed everything people loved, so the game is dead. This week,
Right.
They are requiring you to link to your PlayStation account, so the game is dead. And
Okay.
I would say out of all of them, this one sucks. The being forced to link your account, like that's trash.
Why
sounds like
did
a
they
Sony
decide to do
decision.
that?
Great question.
I don't know what the
I
benefit is
imagine
there.
Here's my
I imagine
baseless
it's a
guess.
Sony thing.
Yeah,
I feel
my
like Sony
baseless
was
guess
like,
is Helldivers sold insane. I think it was a fucking article. It's like, it's their best-selling like game of 2024 by a long shot.
I feel like Sony
They were
was like, this is an us thing linked to
yeah,
us. I
yeah,
feel
like ooh, we can make people now get on the Sony network account, and then we'll have them.
Right.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a thing the Helldivers team would do. It 100% is a Sony push.
Yeah.
It sucks because
That
they're taking it
sucks.
out on the Helldivers team instead of Sony, which is kind of ass. But yeah, I mean, it's been rough because the last couple of weeks, I actually looked this up because I was curious, and I just wrote in Helldivers drama into Google, and just to give you an example, 4 weeks ago, why the hell is there so much drama? March 8th, what's with the drama? March 31st, a moderate take on the drama. April 5th, all this drama is manufactured. February 29th, recent drama. It's just, I think the popularity of the game is because it's so popular, there's always
Yeah.
gonna be people complaining about things. Like a great example is every time they change a meta thing, or every time they see, okay, players are using all of this, let's nerf that a little bit or change it up. And people are like, but that's how I play. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right, then play a different way, gang. Like or keep playing that way and just have fun, whatever.
Right.
It's very weird. I would say the last couple weeks have been like strange. Meanwhile, if you actually play the game, everyone's having a good time as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Like every time I
Sure.
play, I'm in there with a bunch of randoms and we're just like fight. Like the last time I played, we were doing a thing where we had to like run to an escape point. There's an army of bugs after us. We're playing on like the second to most hardest difficulty. We're like, there's giant things chasing us, and like we're raining down rockets from the sky. We're doing all this stuff. And we get to the end, we're like holding them off. I jumped onto that ship at the end, and when we flew off, I was like, that might have been the coolest thing I've ever done. I've never felt cooler in my entire life. I can't believe we lived through that. It was awesome. It was so cool. And that's why I love the game. And then I'll go online and they'll be like,
People are mad.
this is the stupidest game that ever existed. Game is dead.
People don't like change. Change scary. It's just
Yeah.
like I imagine like the nerfs came because for the very first time they have a player size pool of the hundreds of thousands, and they can literally look at the data and go, okay, this shit is crushing through levels that they shouldn't be crushing through. This shit isn't doing this. Rebalance it, and like they have a data set. And yeah, it might be your particular favorite way to play, but you know, there's a box of tissues you can buy for $2. Go cry in the corner and come back and play when you're done.
And admittedly, things like the change that just happened suck, right?
Sure.
But it's kind of like,
Welcome to any game that's
I know it
balanced.
won't.
It's gonna
I
happen.
know it won't. I know it won't do this, but I feel like it should put into perspective all the previous weeks of drama, which weren't really drama. And like, this is something to be upset about.
Yeah, the
Sony
Sony
forcing
thing.
you to
And
do a
get-
thing and
And
sign
then
a
yell
thing.
at Sony for that. Don't yell at the
Yeah,
developer.
yeah.
Go to Sony.
Like-
It's definitely a Sony thing. I saw
I
somebody
feel
say it was
like that
planned.
should be.
They had the account attachment has been planned since launch. It just got pushed back due to technical difficulties. It's still a Sony decision, I imagine.
Yeah, it still sucks. It's still stupid. But I
Sure.
feel like you can hate on that. But
Yeah,
then put in
100%.
perspective that like all these devs are busting ass to give you a game that blew up in a way they were not expecting.
On an
And-
engine that is all outdated before the game was even being made.
Yeah, and literally get some perspective. Like y'all are so angry over
I think
so
like
they nerfed your gun.
But obviously,
Like,
this isn't for the
okay.
people who live in a country where they can't get Sony accounts. Like that obviously it makes total sense to be mad
That's
about. Fucking
stupid.
that's dumb as fuck.
if I'm playing on PC, why should I have to input it? Why should I have to make a
Yeah,
Sony PlayStation
that.
account? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. It never will. I do not understand that, but it's the same reason why when you play an Ubisoft game and they're like, in order to play this, you must create a Ubisoft. Like, why? I
It's the
shouldn't have to
same
do that. That's stupid.
Is this? I mean, again, we talk about it as cyclical, right? But I even think back to early World of Warcraft. These same exact conversations were had about paladins back in the day. They kept getting nerfed or not bad, but people kept playing paladins. Like, it didn't stop people from playing paladins. They got buffed. Like, it'll happen. They'll nerf things. They're going to check on the data set and then probably buff things. Again, this is probably the very first time they've had over 100,000 people playing a game that they can look at. They were balancing for whatever their QA team was at the time, which was way small. You got to keep in mind, these people, they expected at like a high end in their interviews, 50,000 people buying the game. That was their dream number, is if 50,000 people would buy Helldivers 2. That's a lot. Like, that's, they're scrambling. They've never had a success like this on their hands before. So, give them time.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job.
I think the argument is always going to be different depending on, is the game a single player game? Is it a co-optional game? Is it a PvP game, right? Like, obviously in a PvP game, there needs to be a lot of focus on making sure everything is balanced so that it's fair. You're playing against other players, right? In this situation, I understand some people saying, but I was having fun playing that way. I'm not playing against another player. I'm playing against a computer. So, like, what's the problem? But I think in the long run, right, aside from just the fact that it is their job to make sure that the game is balanced, but in the long run, as a player, I think it's good to remember that this idea of we're all pushing back, the robots and the bugs and all of that, and they're going to slowly creep in and potentially destroy the planet, right? That experience isn't fun if there's suddenly or gradually a way to play that becomes the standard meta that makes it so that it doesn't feel like they can win, right? You need to feel like they can beat you. Otherwise, what's the point? It's not that experience of I have to go to war, I have to fight for the planet, that community vibe is one of the things that people have really loved about Helldivers. So, and
what's cool is if you do still want to kick ass, there's 9 difficulty levels. You can bump it down and go run, go kill ass if you want to destroy somebody. But that idea is like Diablo. I think of Blizzard's titles specifically because I spent so much of my life playing them. But like Diablo, World of Warcraft, all the talent trees, there's only one way to spec yourself. It didn't matter all the choices you had. If you wanted to get into a raid or if you wanted to be PvPing, you spec'd one way. That's it. And it's always been that way.
To Blizzard's detriment, the thing that always upset me is for years, rather than deal with that aspect of the community decided, like Icy Veins or whoever decided that this is the best
These
path
are the
to
best
go.
Ones, yeah.
Because the math checks out that you do more damage over time or heal whatever, that they just scrapped the tree entirely.
Yeah, they did.
And then for many expansions, you just got what you got because this is the optimal way. And I'm like, you took away what made the game fun. Yeah, the choice is gone. So now they're bringing it back again, but it's like, cool. They're still all it's gonna do is people are gonna go on Icy Veins and be like, what do I pick? They'll go on Wowhead or they'll go on whatever, like, what do I pick? Because they want to be invited to play things, and because there's a level of the community, and this is even in Helldivers, man. The amount of times where I don't talk on the game, but I've heard people argue with each other about like, you didn't bring the right, the right type of like bombardment or the right type of turret, and it's like, there's no right type. Chill the hell out. We're just killing bugs, bro. Like, it's fine.
You're not fighting for a ranking system. There's no fucking hidden scoring system or whatever.
I've talked before about fighting games and how I used to love playing fighting games, and it's not that I dislike playing fighting games now, but if I want to feel like I'm involved community-wise with the fighting game community, I have to play online, and it is so difficult to play online and have a good time if you're like a casual player, right? And I think that can wind up being true with a lot of different game types, where it's like, sure, maybe I would live in bliss and have a nice time by myself if I didn't look up a guide, if I didn't play online with anybody else, right? If I just did the talent tree however I wanted, if I didn't play optimally. But we're so used to having the option of like being interconnected with other people that love the same game that you do, And so unfortunately, you wind up, as much as you might try to be like, I'm just here to have fun, I'm just going to play it the way that I want to play it, right? You will eventually get exposed to this idea of like, there is a right way to play this game, which sucks, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think there should be, I just saw in chat, and I actually love the idea of it across the board, just Street Fighter 6 as beginner-only lobbies. I think there should be some effort made in video games that if you have a cooperative game, right, there should be like a effort mode where, look, this isn't for tryhards, this isn't for people who want to optimize or min-max, it's for people who like want to have a good time, and they're gonna bring crazy stuff. Like, it's the same reason why I could never get into StarCraft, for example, because the story loved, the gameplay literally be like, okay, I'm going to play multiplayer online. My strategy is I want to build cool ships and have a fleet of cool ships. And it's like, no, dude, you got killed in the first 5 minutes because somebody sent 5,000 Zerglings to kill you. And he won, cool. And it's like, this isn't fun. This sucks. And then if you look at live StarCraft, the meta of the gameplay is like, they have to counter each other's opening moves, because if they don't do that in the first 5 minutes, the game will be over. It's like, that blows. That sucks so bad. You made your esport that. That sucks, dude. I am not a fan of any of that. Like, yo, you got to hurry it up and build, like, you have to have your 3 like farms. You got to do this. You got to, like,
I was so into that.
That's not fun. I want to build ships. The whole point is cool ships.
But I agree with you. Like StarCraft 2 in particular, especially compared to StarCraft 1, was about building blobs as fast as possible. Like that was all it was about, and racing and trying to cut off people's build orders. Yeah, shit was just stressful. It's not fun.
One thing that like you get goofed on a little bit for it, but I enjoy about Fortnite is if you haven't played in a while and you start playing Fortnite, it doesn't tell you this explicitly, but you're up against bots. It lets those first couple of games that you play, it's like, get a feel for it, dude. Get some easy kills. Like these are just like dumb bots running around. Just you know, get some of that dopamine. Fill up a couple of those little things that are like, this week you got 1 kill. Nice job, dude. You know, like. And just get into the swing of it, right? And I love, when I haven't played Fortnite in a while, those first couple of games, I'm like, yeah, buddy. I'm just running around in a car. I'm running over a dude as a big buff cat and living my best life. And maybe once I'm playing against actual people, I won't have as much fun anymore. But you never know. I got to have 2 games where I was on top of the world, dude.
There's going to be a lot of people who are like, well, I like this, or I like that.
Sure.
Or cool. Cool. Like, awesome. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not like,
go have fun. Find your fun.
Yeah, I'm not here to fight anyone on whether it's good or not. I'm talking about Jesse Cox.
Yeah, what you don't like.
I don't like that stuff, and I will never like that stuff, which is why I don't play it.
Yeah.
Right? And I went undefeated in Fortnite because I won once. And I never played it again.
God,
man.
Until I got sponsored to play it, and then I lost every single time. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. That was worth it. And so, you know, it's I'm just saying, like,
I agree.
You know,
I think in fighting games too, back to the fighting games things, have been done a great job at adding a lot of accessibility for people who are new in terms of like you can set your controls to just be like heavy punch, light punch, or whatever, and it'll auto combo and it'll auto build into combos, and you can like slowly up the controls in that way, which is just nice for somebody who's never played a fighting game and realizes like 3 different buttons just to punch. Yeah, it's a great job. I agree that like there's like you need that buffer re-tutorial bringing you into a game, especially when you haven't played in a while.
And I like, oh God, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I'm too old for this shit.
Sure.
Saying get good is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I just want to say that because the concept of get good requires, okay, well, all right, let me get good. You can't get good if you can't understand or compete at any level with anyone else playing because you're caught up in everyone else's bullshit. Like, if there's a meta and you're trying to learn the meta, saying get good doesn't help you. You're like, I'm trying to learn, but y'all are stomping me and I'm getting no time to learn. It's not, what do you want me to do? Like, skill issue, bro. Like, yeah, it is a skill issue. I literally don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. And I'm trying to learn, and y'all are just telling me I'm shit. I don't want to be shit. I don't like being shit, but here I am. Please let me have a chance. And it's like, nah, bro, you're not good enough as is. It's literally video gaming is slowly becoming the job market where you must have 4 years experience before you can get an entry-level job. Like, how is this possible?
Gear check.
Gear check, literally.
Gear check first, then your talent spec check.
Yeah.
I have a game that you don't need to be good at anything to play.
Oh, let's
talk to me.
All right. If any of you guys like idle games and you want stick with me. Stick with me. If you want a little cute old robot to sit at the bottom of your monitor.
What is happening?
This is an idle game called Rusty's Retirement. It sits at the bottom of your screen, and it's a little old man robot who has retired from whatever his robot job was. I didn't ask any questions. And it is an idle gardening game that just sits at the bottom of your screen. Everything.
What does that mean?
Idle meaning that like it just kind of operates without you for the most part.
Sure. But like, what does the gardening mean? He just gardens?
Yeah. So you
get to overwhelmingly positive reviews. Jeez.
You get to decide where everything goes, and you can plant seeds. Eventually, you're able to hire or bring on another old robot who will plant stuff for you. But it's just, it moves really slow. It's very leisurely. And these little old robots just walk around and tend to a little farm that you build. And it's very cute.
Looks relaxing. You can't, that looks I like the art style.
Yes.
I just want to, first off, sounds very cute. I love it.
It is.
But it's also how incredibly cyclical everything is in the gaming world that I don't know if any of you remember this, years ago, there would be games that were barely games, but it was like naked lady on your desktop. And then she'd go down the corner.
Yeah.
And it would be like a thing. And I'd be like, nah, don't download. You're getting a virus if you download that. And this is the exact same vibe where it's like, instead of sexy lady, it's like I'm an old farmer. And I'm going to farm. And I think that's really cute that this
is where we're at now. Yeah. I'm shocked that there aren't more idle games that are like, keep doing your work, whatever. This game is going to sit on part of your screen. It doesn't take up the whole thing. It's not like a rectangle that you have to move somewhere. It just sits off to the side or at the bottom, and it just goes, and it just does its thing.
That
it's
can
very
be a powerful tool for ADHD people. I can see why you like it.
It's great.
Just having something there to always kind of look over and just take a minute, just look. You're good.
Yeah,
it'd be a nice little distraction.
It's very, very cute. I like how much you're able to specify where you want things to be. All of the little old robots that you bring onto the farm are super cute. It's great. It's very fun. I like it.
I like it. It looks cute as hell.
So many people in chat are going, I am buying this right now.
It's cheap. It's like $6. It's not even
fun.
All that expensive
You're welcome.
at all.
I was following this game for a while. The creator was on TikTok posting about it, and I was like, I cannot wait for this game to come out, and I'm so glad it's done well because it's so cute.
The best part of the reviews, because they're just like, this was a mistake. I can't get anything done now.
It's supposed to be like a companion to the things you're already doing, but people are like, I got to make sure that the bees are doing well.
Check on the bees.
I the work world finally is getting its comeuppance. Finally, a game I can play at work. My boss said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's just live wallpaper."
That's hilarious.
Yep.
I love it. I'm here for this. That's great. This is so cute.
Yeah, it's very, very cute.
It looks way different than I was expecting, though.
Yeah.
I was expecting, again, a little tiny robot guy in the bottom corner of your screen.
No,
this is a thing you can stretch across the entire bottom.
It's the whole bottom of your screen, or you can have it on the side, and it'll be a big sidebar. You can specify.
That's neat.
This is actually, I'm super impressed by this.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Plus, it's only $7 on Steam right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get the bundle. I don't know what that is. What's the supporter pack?
The supporter pack, I think it makes Rusty gold. So he's not
He
so
is
he's
gold.
not so rusty. I don't know what else it does though.
Well, then it'd be Goldie. Goldie is old Goldie.
Oldie Goldie.
Oldie Goldie.
Yep, that's
Yep.
good. I like that.
Yeah.
Video games. Are we getting old?
I feel
Are we
like
getting old?
all we did
Are
was
we
rant
oldie
today.
Goldie?
Yeah, are we getting? Are we
Yeah.
oldie? Are we?
I feel like we old man yelled at Cloud, and by we I mean mostly me, but I'm including you all because you're forced to be.
We
here.
were involved. We were there.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were very involved,
Mhm.
heavily so.
Yeah.
I don't mind it too much.
Video
Yeah.
games.
The other one that I played because it finally came out is Rotwood. I don't know if either of you guys have any interest in Rotwood.
No,
it's
never
it's
heard
the
of
new
it.
Clay game. It's in early access, so it's not fully done yet.
Why do
But it's a co-op roguelite where
Yes.
yeah,
Hey,
you fight back the rot. It's
it's interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't know Clay had another game coming out.
Now I know why I played this because I played a demo. 2 months ago, I
Mhm.
think. Loved it. Super fun.
it is fun.
Clay,
Yeah.
they always knock it out of the park. I feel like there's never a bad thing Clay really has put out. They're good.
Yeah.
And I love when the way that you do the co-op is just a game code. God, that's so
Oh, yeah.
easy.
It's so
Instead of
easy.
being like, you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
invite a friend over Steam or whatever, just being like, give the person this code and then they're in the game. Like it's so nice. I love when the co-op is that simple. But yeah, you can
Yeah.
have up to 4 characters. You design your character, and when you join other people's games or whatever, that's just what you look like. It's very cute.
I'm
I
definitely.
will
check
say
that out.
that
Yes.
what weapon did you use, Dodger?
You start off with a hammer, I think, and then I got
Right. It's like a slow boy.
Yeah, there's a hammer, a spear, there's like 2 bing bong balls, and then a gun.
All
Give me a
right.
bing bong ball.
The gun,
Yeah.
I've never hated a weapon so much in a video game in my life.
Same.
The gun sucks, dude. I hate that gun.
My big thing, I was ranting about this. So they established for you, because the gun's the last weapon that you unlock, right? So they established for you, you've played with these other weapons, and space bar is dodge, okay? And you gotta dodge the fuck out of shit, right? In order to stay alive, okay? And then you use the gun, and guess what reload is?
Space.
The space bar. So you're like, I gotta dodge out of this. No, just kidding. I'm stuck in a reload animation, and now I'm dead.
I hate the
Damn.
gun. Like it is.
Damn.
All right, I was about to. I was hoping you would agree with me on this because, like,
Yeah.
you saw the pause there. Because I love this game; it is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that gun stands out as maybe being one of the worst things I've seen in a game in a long time. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that gun. It's thankfully you don't have to use it.
You
But
don't
if
have
anyone
to.
out there is using the gun, what is like? Do you hate yourself? What is going on with you? That gun is impossible to use. And the worst part is you think because it's a gun, it's going to be like better. Dude, I'd rather just whack him with a hammer. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's so pointless. This gun. Yeah,
I
don't get it.
do think the combo system in the game is surprisingly robust. Like there's a lot that you
Awesome.
can do with each weapon. And it really builds on itself. It teaches you new things to do with each weapon. Like all of the other weapons are so fun. And then the gun made me so mad. And I was obviously complaining about it while I was streaming. And a bunch of people were like, but your secondary attack is also a dodge. No, that does not fix it. Having my secondary attack also blast me in one direction or that is not a dodge. That's not the same for
Doesn't
me.
the secondary, doesn't it blast you back?
Yeah.
So
not
sometimes
what
you
I
get
want.
blasted
Really a
into like a
dodge.
spike or an enemy, or like the blast back isn't helpful.
That's hilarious. Oh, is it on purpose, do you think, by design to be kind of shitty, or is it just this like needs to be tweaked?
I think it's just
I think they should tweak it. We
Yeah.
can't be the only ones who have been like, fuck this. This sucks ass. There's no way. So
I think it's like it's one of those like special options. And if you like playing ranged gameplay and you don't want to get up in them and you're a slower player, I'm going to say probably Dukes and I suffer from wanting to jump in and fight immediately
yeah.
syndrome, where instead of, because when you play with the gun, you have to like stay back, you have
Yeah.
to shoot, and then the reload takes time, so you have to get far away from enemies, so you have to be like really thoughtful and you can get into a flow with the gun. It's just so completely unfun compared to everything else they're offering that it seems obtuse. And so I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I would say change it, but maybe the point is it's supposed to be that way for a certain type of player who likes it. So sure, but yo, it is the worst part of the game. Hands down.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the spear, I thought I would hate the spear for some reason.
It's so fun.
Stabbing in a straight line, I'm like, yo, I love this spear.
Also, jumping and then spin attacking through shit. Oh, so fun. Fun. Yeah.
I was like chilling with the hammer, and it was cool because I got it. It clicked immediately. I knew how hits worked, right? And then I got the spear. I was like, I hate this spear. And then I kept playing. By the way, if you don't even have to like take our word for it. The demo, I think you can still get the demo. The demo lets you it is like a lot of playtime. And it lets you learn all the different mechanics. You get all sorts of cool stuff. You can even get the gun and the spear. So the spear rocks.
Yeah.
I was like,
Spear's super fun.
This is my shit. Yeah.
I'll check it
I
out.
realized that we love this. Dukes, did we love the same stuff?
I was gonna say, are we
What?
Are you guys friends?
twinsies?
Lit. It's almost like we're in the same room. It's crazy.
Moving on, new subject.
Yeah, guess what? This wasn't a fake plant wall at all. It's actually the other side of that.
What?
You just go through there, pop out the curtain on the other side.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe we, guys, maybe we could play Rotwood together. Maybe.
I'd play happily.
Maybe we could play Rotwood
love
together.
Did we talk about, speaking of co-op, did we talk about Ravenswatch? Even though we got paid to play that.
That
was
didn't.
cool as shit.
That was a
great.
really fun game, actually. Yeah. A heads up, disclaimer, Jesse and I were both paid to play this game together. But I played it again the next day on stream because I had such a good time with it.
You should have messaged me. I would have played that instantly.
You were asleep, darling.
Oh, that's right. You live in.
She does.
You
live
were
in
not
England.
awake. Yeah.
Part of the world. Yo, it's actually a ton of fun. If you don't know, the concept of Ravenswatch is literally just like you are. I don't want to say mythological, a fairy tale, maybe. I don't like a. I'm trying to think of what you'd be called.
Folklore characters.
Folklore. Yeah, you're folklore characters, and you are kind of fighting back. I'm going to say Cthulhu-esque darkness.
It's just some sort of strange shit. Yeah.
Evil
And
incarnate.
it is entirely, I think, carried by, because it could be, it has the vibe of any other sort of roguelike game out there, but it's entirely carried by the characters you can play and their abilities and how absolutely fun they are. Pied Piper is what I played almost the entire time. I fell in love. The dude shoots musical notes at people like the fight scene in the one Marvel movie that happened recently.
Multiverse of Madness. Where
Multiverse
the
of Madness,
is about 3
yep.
seconds long.
Right. The only cool scene in that entire movie. You shoot musical notes at people, and then you have an army of rats. And the rats, you can like, basically, as you play through, it has different buff systems that you can get. You can get items, you can get upgrades to spells, you can buy upgrades to spells. And the best part is you can either go down the path of, I'm going to buff my like, or you can buff your rats. And if you buff your rats, you can make them explode when they come in contact with people.
Oh, hell
you
yeah.
can now summon 3 rats at a time instead of 1. You can like make the rats bigger. You can make the rats attack more. So eventually when Dr. was playing, I had a rat army of like 35
awesome.
rats. And I was like,
Damn.
let's go. It was so much fun. And that's just one character.
Yeah, so the game itself, it's like an isometric roguelite, but it's timed. So you get into the game and you have a certain amount of time before like a monster shows up. You have 3 in-game days. And you have this whole map that you can explore, and there are like a couple of little icons to give you an idea of what are going to be like in certain areas. But you literally, it takes away that element of I need to finish the map. You literally don't have time.
You can't.
You do not have time. So you, as either yourself or as a group, have to decide on like, what are we hitting? What are we going to try to do with our time to maximize our power for when this thing shows up and we need to fight it?
That's a cool idea.
And it's actually, I thought that I would find it more annoying because I'm definitely like if I'm playing Binding of Isaac or something, it's like I have to go to every room, right? I'm not leaving until I've been to every room. But this game, you don't have an option, right? Like the monster shows up, you get teleported there, you fight it, and then you're gone. You're going to the next area, and it's like, okay,
We gotta go.
okay, that's all right. Yeah, cool. But Jesse's absolutely right. The characters that you can play, and the unique way that they all fight, is so fun. All of the characters are really, really fun. We didn't play long enough to unlock. There's Geppetto, and I can't remember the name of the water nymph character. But there's a couple of different characters that we weren't able to unlock with the time
We
that we
unlocked
had.
Aladdin, though. That was pretty good.
Aladdin was fun.
Oh,
yeah. People are speculating that King Arthur is going to be a character because Avalon is now part of like the world. So yeah, it's cool stuff and lots of options for different sorts of things from lots of different sorts of characters from lots of different cultures that can be brought in as well, which is good.
And they all have like a fun twist mechanically, which I love. Like Aladdin, all of his big things are the genie shows up and wrecks dudes. Dodger was playing a bunch of Little Red Riding Hood or
Scarlet,
yeah. And at night, like during the day, it's just her with like daggers, but at night she becomes the werewolf.
She
and I was
is
like,
the big bad wolf.
Cool.
Yeah, which is cool.
When he plays the Snow Queen, you can like Iceman your way around the map on ice. You can do like you can freeze enemies and stuff, but also like make the ice then explode. When you play as Beowulf, because and again, let me stress this: Beowulf has sex with Grendel's mom.
Stop
and
this.
they make a dragon.
Stop
and
this.
It's true. It's a story. Anyway, Beowulf, his companion is a little baby dragon. So technically, I think that's his son. And so when Beowulf does his abilities, he can activate dragon stuff, and it makes his abilities catch on fire.
Sweet.
It's great.
I just have the Aladdin song, Riff Raff, Street Rat. I don't buy that.
Street Rat.
I think we did say Riff Raff, Street Rat to one another while we were playing at one point.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Yeah. We gotta get it out.
Anyway.
So many Beowulf spoilers.
Guys, I'm playing Bellatrix as my roguelike. So.
Oh my God. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't understand, I don't get, and I never will play Bellatrix. But my God, is it fun to watch people play it. I will watch streamers play that and be like, yo, numbers go up, dude. This is amazing.
Numbers do go up.
Yeah, not to still make it sound like we're in the same room sharing a brain, but I have played Bellatrix and I don't enjoy it. But I do like watching other people play it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun. Break numbers. Make numbers go up. Dopamine.
Big numbers.
Big number go up.
My brain fights what the game is.
It's
right?
not
like,
actually poker. It's just presented as it.
Right. Like I keep screwing up because my brain is like, oh, poker. But it's not what it is. It is a entirely different beast. And when you watch people who get it, again, this goes back to like
hands like 5 of a kind, which don't exist in like.
Yeah, this is like going back to StarCraft really quick. I hate playing competitive StarCraft. It is the least fun thing for me. But my God, do I enjoy watching competitive players because they're so in it that I'm like, damn. It's the same thing with like 80% of sports. Like you couldn't convince me to watch like tennis or golf or like, but I'll play tennis, I'll play golf. Like that's like it's just a baseball. Like, oh, it's so boring. But I go play it, and it's the reverse when it comes to games. Or I will watch the crap out of some games, but you couldn't convince me to play those things. Like I just wouldn't want to play them. And it's absolutely the Bellatrix is that. Where I'll sit down, I'll watch it and be like, my God, that's the coolest thing I've ever, like, God, they're so good. And then I'll be like, I should play that. And I'm like, no, I'm bored already. I don't know how to explain it.
It's like, honestly, I describe it kind of like Isaac. It's not about the cards, it's about the synergies you're getting. The jokers are just power-ups. That's all they are. They're just like power-ups you get at item rooms. And like I had one that every time, every first hand I played would level the hand up, which means it gives you more points when you play it. And so like by the end, my most powerful hand was literally just playing a card, any card. Didn't matter what card it was, because high card was like the thing that I'd leveled up to like level like 20 or something. Yeah, it's fun.
Right.
But yeah, it's not, it's presented in a way that even I was trying to be like, well, why is Full House not as good as like my 2-pair? I don't understand. Well, it's not a poker game.
It's fascinating to watch the Jokers in action
Yeah.
because I learned while watching Octo, I think, play that the order in which you place the Jokers also affects.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, that's cool, but I would be so overwhelmed by the 18 other things happening on the screen that I would not be focusing on that at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Sorry.
There's another
Your brain
game.
isn't galaxy enough to play.
Yeah.
There's another game that does that same sort of like, we're going to take a deck of cards, but we're going to skew how they work for the purposes of like, you know, dungeon delving, essentially. Like see how long you can last and how you change your deck and all of that sort of stuff. And I love this game. And I know that once I say that, you're going to be like, if you love it, then why don't you know the name of it, Dodger? That's so fair. So I'm like trying to find it.
What is this?
Is it
the Book of Demons? Somebody said?
No, it's not Book of Demons.
No, I've never heard of that.
No, Book of Demons, isn't that like a book? Like you're in a book?
Yeah.
I guess. It looks like a card game.
Like a card game where you're in, like, it's like you're in a book. And you're fighting pages or something. Like, that's a different
Adventures. This is like Cat is throwing all kinds of names out there.
Gilded Dungeoneering is a different thing, but I love Gilded Dungeoneering. I think it's a fun game.
Aces and Adventures, is that it?
I don't know.
Hold on.
That looks like Myst.
Aces and Adventures is the game. That's it.
Interesting. It's like
never heard of this.
Myst mixed with the card game. I've never seen this.
Wait, is it? No, never mind. It's not.
Well, you got me to go look at the webpage.
That's not it.
Got you, Jesse. Not me. Didn't
Try
get me.
again, chat. Hand of
Got
Fate.
me.
That's not
Monster
it
Train. I love Monster Train, but I don't think it's Monster Train.
You know what absolutely sucks is that I was lured into this Aces and Adventures because of like the cute redhead on the logo.
Yeah,
but there's no redhead at all in the video.
No, it's Myst.
I got honeypotted, dude. They got me.
Oh. Dude. This is it. Oh my God. Thank you, chat. Poker Quest.
Poker
Quest Swords and Spades is the name of the game. This is actually it. I swear it's very good.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen this game.
We did it, chat. Thank you so much. I would have died out there without you.
Go check Poker
Okay.
Quest.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another great game.
Cool.
Wow, they got weapons and stuff. My goodness. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's very fun. I should play it again. Now that I remember the name of it, I can play it.
Mayhaps I shall play it again.
Now you got me thinking about, oh man, I'm so Valhalla something, son of a bitch. I played a demo for a game that I'm like super into, but now I can't remember the name of it. So that's cool, Jesse. The premise is you are like Vikings? Question mark?
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Uno Valhalla. That's on Steam. Is that it?
No. Valhalla Rising? Is that what? Nah, it might not be it. But it's a card, like you have cards, and there's you go from island to island to island. And on those islands, you need to build towns and places to like harvest materials and stuff, so that then you can then go and hop to another island and keep going as the story builds. Plus, then you like collect and can make little additions to. It's super interesting, and I'm trying to think of what is it.
A card game?
It is, yeah. It's like a card strategy game, and let me see if I can find this. Is it Sons of Valhalla? That doesn't seem right. That seems like the side scroller one, right? The one that's like. Yeah, that's the Sons of Valhalla is the one that's kind of like
it's like Two Kingdoms a little bit.
Yeah. No, this is different. This one is like you're building out worlds as you play through it, and I can't, man. It was a demo
no
I
idea.
played, so it's obviously gone now that
Yeah,
I played
building.
it, but I just don't know what it's called. And that's so frustrating.
Hmm.
But it was
Anyway,
you
video
find
games are
it.
cool. Yeah, let us know.
It's so sad.
Sorry. We're at time, guys. Womp womp.
Wow.
Look at us.
Womp womp.
Womp womp
Yeah.
womp womp. But Mathas,
Hello.
it's your time. Are you ready?
Four.
You get to give our listeners and viewers and supporters homework.
Oh God.
What is a
What kind of homework do I give? Like, what kind of homework is like what people give them?
Let
Like,
me-
are you talking about like go
No,
read a
no,
book
no,
or
do
something?
not help him. Do not
No,
help him.
help me.
Let me give you the same. I'll tell you the same thing that we tell everybody. It can be a book, it can be a comic, a game, a movie. The idea is that it's something that you think more people should give a shot. Not
Sure.
Not something that
Are you guys
everybody
gonna-
already
is it just the
watches.
audience?
But
Or do you get to do it too? Are you forced to
it
do
used to
as
be our
well?
homework, and then we didn't do any of it. So now it's their
All right,
homework. Yeah.
I want you all to go watch on the internetarchive.org Neil Breen's wonderful film, Twisted Pair.
No. I overrule this.
You can't do
I
that.
Why?
overrule this.
I'm the
Why?
guest. You all lied to me about the time I was supposed to be on here. So
That's true. You
give
can
this
say
to me.
whatever you want. I have no idea what this is.
Twisted Pair, Neil Breen, for free on the internetarchive.org.
Hi. Oh God. Neil Breen is a guy with, I think, too much ego
Okay.
and too much money.
Yeah.
And he is a
Uh,
conspiracy theorist.
He's a movie
nutter
maker.
butter who makes movies that he pays, like either pays for himself or he
Kickstarts
gets
them.
Kickstarter to pay for.
Yeah.
And the budget is like $5,000.
He's not
And-
self-aware at all.
He makes movies where it's like scenes that are just like, baby.
Oh, it's gonna make the Tommy
You've
Wiseau
got-
movie The Room look like an
I
actual
was gonna
Hollywood
say
movie.
like Tommy Wiseau level or like
No, worse.
Yeah.
worse.
And he's not, and he is wholeheartedly not self-aware of how his movies are seen.
Okay.
It is so, like one of the movies, it's not the one that he told you to watch, so I'm going to spoil this. One of the movies is about him being like, I'm trying to uncover a government conspiracy. And it's him the entire time. And he's like, I can't do it. And he like knocks over the laptop.
Okay.
And then it cuts back to the scene again and the laptop's there. Like that kind of stuff.
And he has
Or
like 4 laptops around him. They're all off.
he's like, I can't figure it out. It's like, laptop's not even on, dude. There's scenes where he has like his wife,
did.
and it's always just some beautiful woman he hired to be his wife, and he's like,
And he goes in
baby,
to kiss
he
her,
like
and they're
tries to kiss her, and then like, the scene cuts because it's very obvious she was like not into it. It's hilarious. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Have you guys done like a watch party together of this movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Is that
did,
why you both
we-
know about
we-
it? Okay.
we have we did 2 commentaries for our Patreon on Chilluminati, for our Rotten Popcorn podcast. But I think
Amazing.
the
Some of
findings
the
I put out
worst-
publicly. I'll double check.
There
We
is
watched it. It's so good.
there is a movie that exists in which he like tries to uncover government conspiracy, does not do it at all.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, all the like government officials are like, we are bad guys. And then they kill themselves.
Like
It's
all
like,
his
wait,
neighbors.
What do you mean? He's like, I uncovered the secret. It's like, no, you didn't. You did nothing. This movie, nothing happened.
The dude in the
There
first
is-
in the in Twisted Pair, the opening has stock footage of just soldiers going through a building, and he's screened himself into it. And then in order for him to instead of like freeze framing, he pauses it on a frame where the people are blurred except for him, and he walks by them as he green
He
screens
walks by
explosion.
them in the green screen.
Yeah, and then he does a pose like this,
I
and then he
love
clearly just
that.
out in Premiere he clearly cuts himself out and
How
drags him.
long?
And he's like, whoop,
How long are
hour
these
20,
movies?
hour
Too
20
long.
minutes,
Too
hour
long.
20.
Too
That's
long.
Hour and a
not
half at
even
longest, but
as
they-
long as most of the videos I watch on
No,
YouTube
no, no, no,
nowadays.
No,
You will be
they're short, but
15
it will
minutes in.
feel-
You will be 50
Yeah.
minutes in. It'll feel like an hour. Nothing happens.
Every
There's
10 minutes, Jesse and Alex and last time we're like, how has it been only 10 more minutes since the last time I looked?
It is
Oh my God.
again, Dodger. There's a scene where there's a bunch of guys with guns, and he walks in the room. It cuts to them all being dead suddenly, and then someone photoshops him, whoop, like jumping to a balcony. It is.
You say someone like he's not the
madness.
one doing all of it.
It is.
That's amazing.
Mathas I cannot stress this enough. His character, the premise for this film is that he and his brother were kidnapped by aliens.
It's evil
And then
20.
when they returned
Hale
to
and
Earth,
Cade.
when they returned to Earth, they had powers, and his brother was like, "I don't want to use my powers for this anymore." And so his brother leaves, and so he's like, "I have to save the world." And so it's him putting himself into B-roll of combat footage, like shooting
and then
PNG fireballs.
Amazing.
It's insane.
And cutting to his evil brother, who's now drug addicted and a drunk with a glue-on beard all the way down here, with his like hired actress girlfriend, who's like, "All I want is money and pills," and like throws.
She's like, "I don't love you. I just want money and pills." He's like, "I will determine what happens in this scene." You're like, what the fuck? It's crazy.
Neil Breen, Twisted Pair. That's, if you're gonna watch one, that's
Okay.
Twisted Pair you should watch.
Okay.
And the worst part is we discovered there's a sequel, and I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
A sequel that was released this year. It's brand new. It's called Cade. Fuck. I can't remember. What is it called?
Neil Breen sucks, dude.
Breen
sucks. I've never hated
Neil
anyone
is how you
more.
would spell Neil, and Breen is Breen. Cade. It's called his new movie, a sequel to Twisted Pair.
Okay.
It's called Cade: A Tortured Crossing.
Oh my God.
I cannot stress this enough.
I can't wait to watch
Never
that.
has anyone wasted so much of my time as Neil Breen. I've never felt so much outrage to a single human being for just wasting my life. Those are hours I will never get back.
Yeah.
I will go to my grave. I will be on my deathbed like, "Damn you, Neil Breen." I could have had a few more hours of joy. You stole them from me.
Oh
But
my
we gave them
goodness.
back in a watch along audio commentary, all right? So we took that time he stole and profited.
I
off
might
of it?
actually do the homework this week.
Do it, please. Oh God, I'll be back
I'm
next week, everybody.
so
I'll be a guest. You
curious.
don't realize it. I'll be back to talk
I'm
about Neil
just
Breen
so
for 2
curious.
hours next week.
You're going to make it exactly 6 minutes in before you give up.
No,
because
don't get
it is-
15
I'll
minutes
push
into
through.
Twisted Pair, because
I'll push through. I'll message
No,
you
you
guys.
won't.
I will.
please do.
No, you
I will.
Please do. I want
will.
to know I want like updates in Discord or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I want to know.
I'll.
This is your Final Fantasy
Typecast
14.
it.
You're going to start playing and be like, "No, I'm all right. No, I can't. You know what? I'm out."
You're gonna get very familiar with the community college that he films on all the time.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, weird. A lot of the action takes place and was clearly a late night community college that he could go to because they can't lock the doors legally. It is very clearly that.
He has a homeless character on campus with 2 rubber rats next to him to show that he's homeless.
No.
Oh my
God.
God.
Gotcha. Oh my God. There's a scene where this man.
How long is the
like,
story?
Seconds.
Okay.
There's a scene where this man is like, "Hey, baby, I want to take you out to dinner." And she's like, "Okay." And their dinner is in the outdoor seating at the college.
Yep.
And he's like, "Wow, where are the waiters? This place is great." It's literally just the benches and the seating outside of the college. There is
Empty
no one
tables
there.
all around him.
It is madness.
That's
It
amazing.
is
Please go
student
watch it.
film level, but worse.
I'll
Go
watch it. I will.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's your homework.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Oh
Can't
my
wait to come back
gosh.
a third
Thank
time.
you so much for coming. Yeah. We should have you on for time number 3,
Wow.
dude. Lucky number
That
3.
was great.
Again, public apology to Mathas. I'm very sorry about how your first time with us went down. But we appreciate you very much. Do you want to tell everybody who you are, how they can find you, what you're up to this week?
Yeah, you can find me on Chulum. Just look for Chuluminati Podcast. Me and Jesse and Alex Fasciane. We're fucking this coming episode. This one's coming up. Freaking Dodger's the guest. So she's gonna be on after I checked. It's been 3 years since you've been on. So we will.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
you were in episode 60 something, and we're on episode 200 and something or other. So anyway, guys will be on. Find Chuluminated Podcast wherever you look. That's all. That's all I got.
Yeah. It's going to be another folklore episode.
I am very
So,
excited for your episode. I know what it is.
I'm
so.
excited too. Well, yeah,
I don't. Ooh.
Mathas had to approve it.
I didn't prove it. You just said, "Can I do this?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
No, but like I would feel weird showing up and being like, "Guess what, guys? We're gonna talk about ding dongs," and then you'd have to
Dude,
send me home.
most watch episode of all time.
That's
Yeah, I was
true.
about to say people would love that.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching Geekenders, everybody. Again, as always, let us take a moment to plug that we have a game coming out. Jesse and I have produced Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. The release date is May 21st. Jesse most likely has put the trailer for it at the beginning of this video on the VOD. So
damn right.
The team has worked incredibly hard on it. If it looks like your type of a game, it's a Metroidvania, please go to Steam and wishlist it. That helps us out a ton with visibility when the game actually launches.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
If you're watching the VOD right now, please enjoy this trailer for Monster Prom 4.
Let's go to the con, come on, monsters bring it on. It's time to make it fun, it's time to make it right. I said it, let's go to the con, nothing can stop us. And you know we're gonna make it right, we're gonna make it whole. There are all sorts of stands, come take my hand, let's overspend, fun and demand. There is nothing you can do. Let me become your stand, number one fan. This is our chance, there's no romance. There is nothing you can do to me. Monster, 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 monster. Yeah. I'm a nerd, I'm a weeb, everybody club with me. Monster, 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 monster. Yeah. I'm a weirdo, I'm a geek, come with me, we'll feel complete. Monster is the way you feel, monster is the way you feel, monster is the way you feel all the time. Monster is the way you feel, monster is the way you feel all the time, all the time. There are all sorts of stands, come take my hand, let's overspend, fun and demand. There is nothing you can do. Let me become your stand, number one fan. This is our chance, there's a romance. There is nothing you can do to me.
But we will be back next week, next Friday. If you're looking for the VOD of this, if you shut up halfway through and you're like, this was a fun time, I wish I could watch more of this. All of the VODs are on Jesse's channel, youtube.com/Jesse Cox. And I believe more of the episodes are going to be going up on podcasty sites soon.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that if you are an audio-only baby and you enjoy having it as a podcast instead. But otherwise, take care of yourselves. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Mathas.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.